Welcome to the Armchair Fantasy Football Podcast. Here are your hosts, DJ Marcotte and John Soroyce. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We actually have a little change for a host tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We do have a Marcotte, but it is not DJ. DJ had other plans tonight, but his son is filling in tonight, so welcome aboard, Andrew.
Thank you, John. I'm happy to be aboard.
So we're going to talk Week 6 this week. We're going to do a breakdown of games and who we think should start and sit. But before we do that, I would just like to thank you guys. Give us a follow at our Armchair Fantasy Football Facebook page, our Twitter. We have Instagram. We are everywhere. Please visit us, like us, listen, and share, as well as we are average guys here. We are the Blue Collar Ballers. Please visit our GoFundMe page and let's keep our dreams going. So let's get into news. Let's start. So in news, Marquise Brown for the Ravens practiced today on a limited basis, but looks like he is trending towards playing. But Mark Andrews, on the other hand, missed practice due to his shoulder injury and not his foot, which he usually is off. This is something we're going to want to keep an eye on for updates throughout the week to see if he will play. But as of right now, it's very hush-hush. But he did miss practice today, not for the foot, but for the shoulder. He's had most Wednesdays off since the season started. So wait and see. I'd say by Friday I'd panic. But as of right now, I would not panic too much on this. In other news, Josh Gordon, knee, Julian Edelman, chest, and Rex Burkhead, foot, are all questionable for this Thursday night's game. And Philip Dorsett has been ruled out for this Thursday night's game. I'm also going to tie in some Giants news with that. Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, and Saquon Barkley have all been ruled out for this Thursday night's game. So this is very interesting here, and I'll say why. If you're the Patriots, do you take chances with these injuries, Andrew, or do you let these guys rest and give some of these, I guess, bench players or their depth a chance to play? I believe last time I looked, the Patriots are favored by 16 to win this game.
Wow. I think if you're the Patriots, you let these bench guys play. Come on, you're playing the Giants at home. I mean, I think they're a lock to win the Super Bowl. I mean, this is just such a high-powered offense. As you said, Giants are missing Ingram, Shepard, Barkley. That's going to be great for their defense, which is already the best in football.
Yeah, I really thought this would be the week Saquon played. I knew Shepard, chances of him getting cleared on a short week for concussion, I knew that wasn't going to happen. Ingram was surprising, too. He actually practiced on a limited basis with Saquon Barkley today, but they were quick to rule him out this afternoon. So I'm scared to start any. We'll go more into depth on their start and sits, but this game we'll talk more about it. But I'm trending towards. We'll go into our thoughts more into the start and sit, but this game's looking ugly already on both sides. So we'll go more in depth when we do the start and sits, guys. Hunter Henry is expected to practice today. Remember, they're on the West Coast, and the chances of him playing this week are slim. But Week 7 looks like the best chance of him suiting up to play. So if Hunter Henry is on your waiver wire, I would suggest picking him up this week and not wait until next week. You could get him at a bargain rate, or you could not get him at all because somebody like me has him stashed already. I think that offense needs a Hunter Henry back. I think he will take some of the pressure off of Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has been a monster so far, but the last 2 games has come back down to earth. But I think he will get better as the season goes on. What do you think, Andrew?
I definitely agree with you. There is still a concern, though. I think even though Hunter Henry, I think he's a very good tight end. He has good ability. It's just he's too injury prone. And I don't like to trust players that are injury prone. Like, let's use, for example, I don't know, Tyler Eifert, another injury prone tight end. He's a good tight end. He just gets injured all the time. And I can't trust players like that. I don't like to trust players like that because I don't know if they're going to get injured later in the season. I don't know if they're going to take the full season. I don't want to take the risk.
I don't blame you one bit. Your dad texted me earlier today, and I haven't seen the news, but there is trade rumors of A.J. Green possibly going to the 49ers.
Love it.
I think it's actually a great addition for the 49ers if they get him. Nobody in their receiving core has really stuck out yet, and I think Greenwood could be that person there. Question is, at 31, I'm not saying he's old, but the last 2-3 years he's been injury plagued. Maybe a Jimmy G and maybe this 49ers offense. He'll go from what? I think the Bengals are what, 1-4?
0-5.
0-5. So he'd go from an
yeah.
0-5 to an undefeated team, 5-0. So this actually might help him out. But wait and see. It's trade rumors, like we said. But it sounds like the Bengals at this point, if they have any chance to make the playoffs, they basically have to win out at this point to stand a chance. At worst, they could have a best of a 9-7 record and still may not make it. So it may look like they may just be rebuilding already. So an AJ Green trade is not out of the what's the word I want to use? Not. It could happen. It could happen. Free up salary cap space for next year. Possibly stash some picks for the Bengals and rebuild that whole team.
Yeah, because as a Bengals fan, I'm at the point where it's like, we're not making it to the playoffs. I mean, last week
you're realistic at least.
Yeah,
so
last week we lost to Arizona. I think that's it. We play the Dolphins in Week 16. I'm a little scared to play the Miami, to be honest with you. So a rebuild,
that could be your one win though. At least you won't go on winless. So
it might,
but you never know because they're going to do the same thing there. So
yeah.
We'll talk about that more under game breakdowns. Christian Kirk returned back to practice today for the Arizona Cardinals. So I don't think Kirk's been okay. He's seen a high target volume, but it hasn't mounted much for production. The only thing I like about Arizona is that offense is so fast paced that the volume they see there, I think it's just a matter of time. Kyler Murray looks like his legs are starting to work better. Mm-hmm. He hasn't done bad. I don't think he's done that bad for a rookie. And I still like Arizona as fantasy value because they're cheap. And at the same time, they're seeing volume because of how I believe that they are still the fastest paced offense in the league. How many plays they're running. I don't think that has changed at all since week 1. Okay. And I don't think it stops. No word on David Johnson. I haven't heard anything yet, so stay tuned on that news. If you were smart this week and you added waiver wire pickup, if you were a David Johnson owner, Edmonds would have been the primary handcuff just in case Johnson doesn't play.
Handcuff.
Yeah. And I picked him up. So Edmonds had actually good numbers without David Johnson in there for the limited time he did play.
Yes, definitely.
So he's basically a great handcuff. Surprisingly, Weekend at Bernie's Mason Rudolph practiced today.
Oh.
Which is very surprising.
Okay.
But has not cleared the league's concussion protocol.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take it easy with him. And I think Devlin Hodges will start again. Will start this week for him if they rush Mason Rudolph back from this. But he's going to be cleared as well. I don't think they will. They're what, 1-4 now?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just take their time. They're injury plagued. I wouldn't even try it.
Yeah, you saw that Mason Rudolph injury. I mean, he got freaking sandwich.
He was knocked out cold, and then the whole thing with the cart not working, it was just a slap in the face to him. I mean, like we discussed last night on last night's podcast, why couldn't they use the other team's cart? I don't understand this. This guy was like knocked out cold, and they did nothing to help him. I hope he's okay, but we'll wait and find out. More news on that as the week progresses. Kansas City Chiefs Patrick Mahomes says his ankle is fine in practice today.
Okay.
So this is Mahomes saying this. And the way he was limping, he did not look good, but he did. The worst was the second time when his own guy stepped on it. But, I mean, a player knows best if he's ready to go or not. And I don't see Mahomes sitting out, especially when Tyreek Hill returned to a limited practice today and has a very good chance of playing this week. So keep an eye on that. If Tyreek Hill comes back, this offense just got a boost on top of what they're already doing.
Yeah, definitely.
He's making the milkman look good this week. Like we said last night, Pringle. Has anybody heard of Pringle before last week?
No. I know Pringles, the chips.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. So that was a joke going around on Twitter and the internet was the guy went off. Mahomes makes anybody look great. So he gets his main weapon back. Watch out. This will open up their run game. The pass game will only get better. What was Mahomes' worst game? I think 300 yards, 313, something like that.
Yeah, the guy's a monster.
Yeah, his touchdowns haven't been there the last 2 weeks, but I think they're going to start to come, and he's still on pace for, I think he's still on pace for 44, I think, or 45 at this point. And you know and I know he's going to get a couple sweet matchups, and he still had, I didn't think a player could possibly reach 52 years in a row, and Mahomes may possibly do it again.
Yeah, I think.
So, like your dad says, he is the Kavorka.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not the Konami, he is the Kavorka.
No doubt in that.
TJ Loogie Hawkinson remains in the concussion protocol. They were on a bye week last week, which I'm surprised here. He still hasn't cleared. So if I had to speculate based on just the news we have, I don't think he's going to play this week.
I agree with you. That bye week, you think he'd get a little time to, kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe revive, I guess we'll use.
It depends. I mean, I don't know his history on concussion protocols.
Yeah.
I do know this, though. I believe they play the Green Bay Packers. It is a divisional rivalry.
Yeah.
Hawkinson would be ideal here because I think it would take some pressure off the rest of the pass game. But wait and see. It's Wednesday. A lot can happen the next few days. They don't play till Sunday. So he may clear. I mean, people have cleared before, and he's also on his second week after the bye or week after the bye. So he may clear here, but I think they need him for this week, especially I believe they're both tied for first in the division, I think.
Yeah, they're both. I think you're right. I think the Packers.
Packers are 4-1.
Yes, that.
And I believe Detroit is 3-1-1.
2-1-1. They had the bye.
Sorry, 2-1-1. They had the bye. I apologize, but they did have that tie, so this game would actually put them a leg up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you're right. Yeah.
But wait and see. Deshaun Jackson for the Eagles did not practice again. This guy, I know he's older in age, but speculation was him trending towards playing this week. Not practicing today is not a good sign, but it is Wednesday. It's still early. Wait and see. This is something to monitor if you are a Deshaun Jackson owner.
Yeah.
And Miami head coach Flores said Josh Rosen will start the rest of the year for the Dolphins.
Good.
So it sounds like to me here that they know their season's pretty much done. They're just going to run their young guys and see who's the best. And I think they have a lot of picks stashed, I believe. From other teams.
Houston, Pittsburgh, yeah.
I think they're going to go shopping in the offseason. So
I think they will.
And with them, they get their own pick, too, depending where they finish. Right now, I think it's going to be between them and Cincinnati at this point.
First overall, yeah.
For first overall. So wait and see.
Yeah.
So that's it on news, guys. So we are going to go right into game breakdowns.
All right.
So first game on the docket is the Thursday night game. The New York Giants, who are 2-3, at the New England Patriots, who are 5-0 and undefeated. Only one of two teams that are still undefeated.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun matchup to watch if you're a Giants fan. If you're a Patriots fan, you're gonna love it because you're gonna slaughter this team. I mean, Giants have no offensive weapons in this game. Obviously, Ingram's out, Barkley's out. I mean, Shepard's out. That Patriots defense is so dominant in the rushing and the passing game. I think this is going to be a huge blowout. I think the Patriots could win by 30 or more, honestly.
Well, like we were saying on last night's podcast, the Patriots have not been tested by an offensive team yet. I don't think it'll start this week, especially with all the injuries for the Giants. They have Ingram out. They have Shepard out. They have Barkley out. Wayne Gallman still is in the concussion protocol, I believe. So Hillman, their third-string running back, is starting for them.
Oh, boy.
It doesn't look pretty. So Patriots rank basically for defense, I believe, like top for everything at points given up, I believe. I believe that the weakest position, I think, is I think I don't think there is a weak spot on their
No,
defense at this point.
That's too dominant.
So what scares me about start and sits here, I don't think I'm going to start anybody on New York, not even Golden Tate, not even Daniel Jones. I was leaning towards starting Daniel Jones if he had more weapons, but I don't even feel comfortable here starting Jones or Tate or Slayton in garbage time because even Patriots defense has looked good in garbage time.
Yeah, I agree.
They have not given up a passing touchdown. Why would it start this week?
I don't think it will, honestly.
So I'm not starting anybody from New York. They're all sitting for me if I have any, which I have Saquon, so it doesn't matter. He's automatically sitting. From the New England side, the Giants are atrocious. They actually give up the most points to wide receivers. But the chance you take in this game is if it gets too out of control, these players may sit quickly. So, yeah, if you're a Brady owner, if he's your only choice, you start him. But beware, this could be the week. He could be up by halftime, depending on what the lead is. I do like Sonny Michel this week. I think they will jump out to a lead. But what can scare me at that part is, are they also going to get Brandon Bolden more involved so they keep him healthy and not, you know what I'm saying, give him a little more rest?
Yeah.
So, Patriots this week, beware. Dorsett has already been ruled out. You have Josh Gordon, Edelman, questionable, but I think they'll both play. But if I'm the Patriots, if they both have questionable tags, I don't take a chance here and try to play them a full game if they're not fully healthy.
I agree.
I think they'll still play. I just don't think they're going to play all game. So, Jacoby Myers could be a sneaky play, but I think they're going to run the ball more. That's what I'm thinking.
And even if they do run the ball, we good there, John?
Yeah. So a little bit of interruption there. We got a little phone call. So I apologize. Right. We're just going to keep going. So the next game we're going to go into is the 3-2 Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 2-3.
All right. A nice little game in London, across the pond.
Yeah, beware of that, guys. Yeah. It's a 9:30 a.m. Eastern time game, which means you have to have your starters in your lineups before 9:30. So don't say we didn't warn you. This is one of those games when it happens that if your lineups are not set, then you're going to lose points, or you may possibly start somebody you don't want to start.
Yeah.
Who are you starting?
Somebody I'm starting in this game would easily be Christian McCaffrey. He's a must start in this game. I think you start Kyle Allen too, because Tampa Bay's passing defense is the worst in the NFL. I mean,
they rank near the bottom.
They're terrible.
If you need a streamer this week at quarterback, Kyle Allen does have a great matchup against the Buccaneers. Yeah. They are I believe, third worst in points given up to the quarterback. The worst, obviously, the Dolphins. Yeah. And then, believe it or not, it's the Saints.
Really?
Yeah, tied with the Falcons on most points of the quarterback.
Interesting.
I'm also, if I'm starting anybody from Carolina, it would not only be possibly Christian McCaffrey, but I would also start Curtis Samuel here.
All right.
And possibly DJ Moore. Buccaneers give up a lot of points to wide receivers.
Definitely. What about Greg Olsen? Is Greg Olsen probably somebody?
Olsen is a good start here. Bucks are not great against the tight end. I'm trying to think who else I'm missing on this team. I think that's about it. Everybody else is like a gamble. Like a Darius Wright is a gamble. Yeah. I don't trust anybody else other than probably Moore, Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and Kyle Allen if you have no choice. But he does have a good matchup. And a surprising stat from him is that he has not thrown an interception yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But his numbers haven't been, what's the word I want to use, through the roof as well.
Well, yeah.
But he's been consistent.
Definitely, yeah.
So, I mean, I think you can get like a minimum, like a floor of like 15, but I think his ceiling's like 25. You're not going to see more than that. You might not even see 25. He did have that 1 week. I think he had 4 TDs. He has a chance here for 2 or 3, though.
Yeah.
Buccaneers side. Do you trust this Carolina D after what Houston did from?
I think I would. I mean, Carolina's passing defense is very good. I love Luke Kuechly is a great linebacker. You know, Brian Burns, rookie out of Florida State. I mean, that guy, he's a great pass rusher. He's a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time trusting a lot of people on this Bucs offense.
I think the only one you have to start Evans because I mean last week he did put up a goose egg, but you have to start Evans. He can blow up at any time. You have to start Chris Godwin. His targets have been there. He's been, like his name says, Godwin.
Yeah.
He's been doing great. I'm not starting Peyton Barber.
No, I'm not doing that either.
I'm not starting
Ronald
Jones. I'm not starting OJ Howard. His targets have been awful. Winston, I think if you have no choice, but beware, I would stay more away from him than start him.
I agree.
Anybody else you can think from this team?
No, not really. I mean, Dare, but again,
but he's not seeing.
He's not seeing that volume as we thought he was gonna.
Yeah, I mean, he's involved in the passing game. I think, like we said on last night's podcast, I think Dare, to be involved more, is going to need an injury to either Peyton Barber or Ronald Jones here to actually get more playing time. So, and just pray. Next game, we have the Houston Texans, who are 3-2, at the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 4-1.
This is gonna be a great offensive game, I think. Great offensive game. You know, Deshaun Watson going up against a terrible Chiefs defense is going to throw it a lot to D-Hop. I think this is the game where D-Hop finally returns to his D-Hop-ness.
He didn't do bad last week. Like I said last night, he still managed 15 points last week. I believe he had 8 catches for like 78 yards or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but a lot of people are still like skeptical on D-Hop because, you know, he's probably the best receiver in football, and there are those people out there who's like, oh, but if he's the best receiver in football, you know, he has to get over 25 points every single week.
So I'm going to tell you an interesting stat. We'll talk the Chiefs side first. You start Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, without
period.
doubt.
It doesn't matter. You start Patrick Mahomes.
You start him every week.
Tyreek Hill plays. You start him. Texans are not good against receivers. They've been up and down. Run game wise, I would be aware of Carlos Hyde and not Carlos Hyde. Sorry, that's the wrong team. I'd be careful of Damian Williams, LaShawn McCoy. Texans are decent against the run. Not to mention, Williams has seen the most usage out of the three, but they're all still kind of involved. So you don't know which one's getting it this week. But McCole Hardman, do you start him? I don't think you do with Hill back.
Not really. No.
Demarcus Robinson, I don't think you do either.
Definitely not. No.
You have to start Travis Kelce.
Definitely, yeah.
I know the Texans are good against tight ends, but it's Travis Kelce.
Sammy Watkins?
He didn't practice.
Oh, he didn't? Oh,
nope.
Okay.
So he probably will not play. So McCole Hardman could be a sneaky pick here.
Yeah, possibly.
I think other than that, Mahomes, Hill, Kelce, and then keep an eye on Watkins because Hardman or Demarcus Robinson would probably be the one who benefits there. On the Houston side, and this is interesting, teams do not play well at Arrowhead because of how loud it is and how rowdy the stadium is.
Definitely not. No.
I think if you're a Deshaun Watson owner, you have to play him. But I think this could be a week that he doesn't put up stellar numbers, but it is Kansas City Chiefs. They look better, but they still don't look good. So do you start him?
I think you do. I mean, Deshaun Watson, he's just such a good quarterback. He's got so many good receiving weapons. He's going up against a terrible defense. And yeah, I know he's an Arrowhead, but look at the Colts last week. The Colts did fine in Arrowhead.
That's true, too.
And the Texans have a great offense. They have lots of weapons on that
So
team.
are you... The way they got ran on the other day by Marlon Mack, do you think you start Hyde or Duke Johnson, or you just stay away from that because of the timeshare and not really value coming out of it?
I would...
I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it either, so don't worry.
Yeah.
I think from Houston, I'm starting Deshaun Watson.
Yes, definitely.
I'm starting DeAndre Hopkins. I think Will Fuller comes back down to earth this week, though, so I would not start him. But Most people don't repeat the same performance 2 weeks in a row.
Let alone a 53-point game performance.
And I think that's about all I'm going to start from Houston. Just those two, because I don't trust them against Kansas City at Arrowhead. But that's my personal take. I'm not going to tell you not to start them. But that's a choice you make. Next game, we have the 4-1 Seattle Seahawks at the Cleveland Browns, who are 2-3. Seahawks look good.
They look really good. I didn't think they were going to beat
the Rams?
The Rams, yeah. I was going for the Rams the whole way. And then
I actually picked the Seahawks, I believe, after I saw an interesting stat, and that was Seahawks play better in primetime, and they play in their 15-5 on primetime against the spread, and they were actually not favored in that game, so they ended up winning. It was by 1 point, but Russell Wilson is literally...
He's something else.
Him and Mahomes are the top two quarterbacks right now. He is on a different level. His completion percentage, I believe, is like 72.8 or 72.9. That's really he is having a fantastic season. So you start Russell Wilson.
Yes, definitely.
You start Tyler Lockett.
I think you start Chris Carson against a really bad Cleveland Browns rushing defense. Look at Breida last week. Breida
that's a great point. I think you can also take a chance with Penny, but I'm not sold on Penny yet.
No.
I think those 2 weeks he missed with injury cost him. But if you have no choice, then you'll play him. But what about Disley?
I think you start Disley too.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like what about DK Metcalf?
Ooh. I'm not so sure about DK Metcalf.
He could be sneaky.
He could.
Cleveland is banged up on defense in the secondary. It could be his chance, but we'll have to monitor if the safeties like Ward and them are coming back. If they're still banged up and they're not playing, I would say start Metcalf. On the Cleveland side,
oh man,
Baker, no way.
No
way.
No.
Odell.
I mean, yeah.
You have to start Odell because it's Odell, but beware. He's had only one great game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Odell is not a good athlete, but he does not look good. And it's because of Baker. Yeah. You have to start Nick Chubb.
Yep, definitely.
He's been consistent.
He has been consistent.
I believe he's number 2 in rushing for the league, unless I'm reading it wrong.
No, I think it's Dalvin Cook than him. So
and believe it or not, Jarvis Landry has been safe.
Yeah.
He's been putting up double-digit points in fantasy. So I think he's a safe start. He has a safe floor. Does he going to put you up a high ceiling? I don't think so, but I think he is safe to start against the Seahawks.
Yeah, especially he's been outperforming Odell almost all year. I know Odell had one good game against the Jets, but it's the Jets.
Yeah.
What are you going to, really?
Do you see anybody else worth starting from the Browns?
Not really. I mean, the Browns are just a messy team right now.
Okay, let's go to the next game. So the next game on the docket, if I didn't already say it, is your 0-5 Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens, who are 3-2. I don't even know if this is a game.
No.
Ravens defense, though, has been spotty.
It's been declined very much from last year's.
So we'll start with Cincinnati here. Sid. Do you trust Dalton?
I know he had a good game against Arizona, but it's Arizona.
Arizona's not great on defense, though. But
no.
Divisional rivalry.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards a Dalton no, but that's me.
I just don't trust Andy Dalton.
Mixon, I think you can play Mixon here. I hope you can play Mixon here.
Yeah.
Ravens aren't good against the run.
Yeah.
I say start Mixon.
I would too.
No on Dalton.
No.
Yes on Boyd.
Yes on Boyd, definitely.
Just because of his target volume. Eifert, I say no.
No. On Tate?
On Tate?
I would.
You would?
I would. I mean, Tyler Boyd's going to get a lot of the
Well, that's true. He's going to take some of the pressure.
Yeah,
that is possible. Auden Tate could see some decent volume here.
And Auden Tate got a touchdown last week.
He did get a touchdown.
He got some targets.
So I think that's all I'm going to take from the Cincinnati side. Baltimore side, you start Lamar Jackson, period.
Yeah. You start everybody, honestly.
Mark Ingram, yep, because the Cincinnati's not good against the run. Wide receiver, Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, if he plays, I'm hoping he plays. It's actually, you start all the Ravens here. There's a possible chance if you're a Gus the Bus Edwards owner too, he may actually see some good playing time here too.
Yeah, I think
So wait and see. Just pay attention to the injury news here, guys, because it is important. If Andrews doesn't play, I believe Hayden Hurst would be the person to benefit here at the tight end position. So it could be a sneaky tight end pickup with Andrew News. No pun intended. But just make sure you follow the news right up to the minute on that. So we'll go into the next game. The 4-1 New Orleans Saints, without Drew Brees, are visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 2-3. I have not heard any clarification on Jalen Ramsey. I'm going to assume that he is still out.
Yeah, I think he was limited today in practice. I thought that's something I saw right before we started recording. It was something he was limited today.
Even then, he's missed time.
That's true.
If Ramsey plays, it gives an upgrade to this Jaguars team. But how much of an upgrade? Is he... He doesn't seem happy in Jacksonville.
No.
So the question is he going to play with his heart or not play with his heart here?
I don't think he'll play with his heart.
I don't either.
No.
I think from the Saints side, I'm going to be very skeptical of Teddy Bridgewater this week.
Yeah.
So I'm not personally starting him. I would start Kamara.
Yeah.
He has a safe floor. I would start Michael Thomas. That's it. That's it from the Saints. I don't trust anybody else.
All right.
You still got to respect Jacksonville a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially if Ramsey plays. If Ramsey doesn't play, then Bridgewater could be a good start. But still, I wouldn't expect a high ceiling for him. Jacksonville side, you have to start Minshew.
Oh, yeah.
Saints are not good against quarterbacks, and they're not good against they're spotty against receivers. They're actually really good against the run. But do you think... I think you start Fournette because I think Minshew Mania has run wild.
I think you do too.
And I think that it's going to help Fournette. Fournette's numbers the last few weeks, like I said, as long as he's seeing the volume he has, which he's been seeing about 20 carries, he's been seeing about 5 to 6 targets. I think Minshew will actually help open up this game for Fournette. You start Chark. He's I believe, the number 5 receiver in the league right now.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. All right.
I know, surprising. He's doing very well. Minshew Mania has run well. And D.D. Westbrook is actually a good start here as well. Tight end wise, they just lost their tight end, O'Shaughnessy. He's on injured reserve.
Is there really anybody else?
There really
isn't.
Nope. So I would just stick to those 3 there, or 4. Yeah, 4. Unless we're missing some, but I don't think we are. So this game could go either way. It could be a defensive battle, but it hasn't looked that way. The Saints, surprisingly, though, without Drew Brees, are 3-0.
All right. Teddy Bridgewater. Nice job. Nice job.
And you got to hand it to Sean Payton. He's doing a good job coaching here.
Yeah.
Like I said, with Brees has already started throwing again. The question is what week he comes back. The fact that he's throwing the ball this early is a good sign. I had said before, if the Saints could split their record while Brees was out, they'd be in good shape. They're already there.
Yeah.
I mean, they could lose the next 2 games and still be in a good spot.
Yeah. Honestly.
So they win this week, they're 5-1. So they're actually in a really good spot. I don't think they're getting the respect they deserve quite yet. But when Brees comes back, they'll fix a lot of that. So let's go to the next game. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are 3-2, at the Minnesota Vikings, who are 3-2. Well, we're going to start on Minnesota side.
Yeah.
Eagles are awful against receivers.
You start Adam Thielen. I don't know if you start Diggs, though. I'm starting to lose my faith in Stephon Diggs.
His target share has gone down quite a bit. I don't know if that whole him missing practices, what he said about the media, he seemed to be quiet this, I don't want to say the second half, but after interviews, he didn't really say much.
Yeah.
You have to start Dalvin Cook. I hate to say this, but with the matchup, you almost have to start Kirk Cousins with how bad those corners are. But I will say I didn't buy into it last week, and if I would have started him, I probably would have been fine. But I'm not reading into how long are they going to pass the ball? You think they keep feeding Thielen?
I think they do. And the other thing you got to remember with Stephon Diggs is I don't think Stephon Diggs wants to be in Minnesota. He does
I don't think so
not
either.
want to be in there. So like with Jalen Ramsey, he's not going to play with his heart. He isn't. He's going to be sloppy.
So Kirk Cousins, if you have no choice, I mean, he's got the matchup. So the question that will run in the back of your head, though, is he going to see the same ball you did last week, or is that a fluke? But if that's the case, then Thielen would not be a good start. But based on the matchup, and I say Thielen, Cousins, Cook.
Yep.
On the Eagles side of the ball, are you starting Carson Wentz?
That Vikings defense is really good. I think you are, because, I mean, Philadelphia's got some pretty good receivers. I mean, I know Deshaun Jackson is out.
Yeah.
But that may affect Carson Wentz a little bit. But you know what? Actually, no, never mind. Don't start Carson Wentz. The more that I thought about it, and it was like, it's Carson Wentz. You should start him. But then I thought about it a little more, and then I was like, you know what? This isn't a good matchup. He's really all he's got is Zach Ertz, who's a very good tight end.
You have to start Ertz based on his volume.
And then, really, that's pretty much it.
I don't trust Miles Sanders, especially after the talk. They said that they're going to give Jordan Howard the ball more. Mm-hmm. Jordan Howard here, I'm not starting him against a Vikings front line. No. I don't think you can.
No.
We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not starting him. I'm trying to think who else there is. Nelson Aguilar? I say no.
No, I don't.
Alshon Jeffrey. I think volume you have to. He has a safe target zone.
He's probably,
other than that, Ertz, Wentz. And Wentz, I would keep your...
Yeah, I wouldn't get too high on Wentz. This is a really good Vikings defense he's going up against. Keep that in mind.
So let's go to our next game. Another winless team.
Ooh.
The 0-5 Washington Redskins versus the Miami Dolphins, who are 0-4. Someone's going to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
Unless we end in a tie.
I mean, there's a reason they're calling this game the Tank Bowl. These are just two awful teams with horrible defenses and horrible offenses. The Redskins got a coach change, firing Jay Gruden, so I don't know how much that helps. But I mean, the Dolphins, even though their offense is really bad, the Redskins' defense is really bad. I think you start Preston Williams in this game. I think you start Kenyon Drake, possibly.
Redskins are decent against the run, believe it or not.
Are they really?
According to the numbers I have, they're decent. Not great. I didn't say great. They're decent against the run.
Decent, yeah.
But remember, Drake can catch receptions out of the backfield here. Yeah. Rosen's throwing. I don't know. I think Miami is just a dumpster fire,
really
personally.
Is, yeah.
This game could go either way. If I had to choose which team I think is going to win, I think it's going to be the Redskins. I think it's going to be the Dolphins.
I think it's going to be the Redskins. I think it's going to be the Redskins.
I think Dolphins will win it here, and I think it's going to be because, one, they have the advantage at home.
Okay.
Two, the Heat.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That Heat,
Good
Miami.
Good point.
I think Miami will win this game and get their first win. And I think Preston Williams have an okay day. Rosen, I'm not saying start him. He's not on my start list, but I think he can have a decent day here. On the opposite side, other than that, I'm not starting anybody else from Miami.
No.
I'm just telling you my prediction. I think it's going to be Miami wins. On the Washington side, as of right now, it sounds like Case Keenum is going to start.
Oh, I don't like that. That's gross.
But out of the three quarterbacks, he's done the best. And because of Case Keenum starting, I'm starting McLovin all day long.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Miami is awful against receiver.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's all terrible.
But something to monitor is that the Redskins said they want to run the ball more.
Which is why I would take Chris Thompson maybe, and maybe Adrian Peterson into account.
Adrian Peterson, he just has not looked good.
I know.
But I guess if he's going to feast, it would be this game. The Dolphins are the worst team against the run. The worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
And plus, I think Chris Thompson's more of a receiving back and will get more receptions than he will run.
If they're playing from behind, Chris Thompson stands a good chance to get some garbage time points here.
Yeah.
on your side, though, if Redskins are winning, then he wouldn't see as much. But they still got to get him involved.
But
I don't know how this game's going to go. The only two people I am starting on the I don't even say two. I think the only person I'm starting two people on the Redskins side would be McLovin and Thompson. Everybody else is sitting on the bench for me if I have them.
Yep, this
garbage bowl.
is
But
going to be a terrible game.
Andrew picks the Redskins. I picked Miami. We'll see how that turns out. I was right about the Raiders last week when everybody gave me the weird look, but that's my prediction this week. Next game, the undefeated San Francisco 49ers, who are 4-0.
Never thought I'd heard that before.
Yep. Are going into the Los Angeles Rams, who are 3-2.
All right. I think for San Francisco's side, Matt Breida has just been. I really like Matt Breida. We've seen a lot from him this year, and I know the Rams. I mean, I don't know Los Angeles's exact numbers or how good they are against the run, but Breida is just such a good running back.
Well, remember, the Rams got torn up by Chris Carson.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing, too. So I think Breida, he's going to catch a lot of passes. He's going to run a lot with the ball. I think you start Matt Breida against the Rams.
Here's the thing that scares me about this game. I think the Rams will win this based on one thing. I think this will be a low-scoring game. Mm-hmm. I could be completely wrong. When I say low-scoring, I don't think we're going to see like a 50, 60-point combined here. I really see like a 21 to like 17 game.
Okay.
Rams defense is not horrible.
Yeah.
But not fantastic either. 49ers have a great defense, but the problem I see is the Rams are at home. Goff plays a lot better at home. Mm-hmm. Is this the game Goff breaks through? Possibly. LA just plays better at home.
Yeah.
Or is this San Francisco 49ers defense legit enough to stop them? It could be.
I think it's legit. I mean, they've got a lot of talent on that defense. Richard Sherman and Nick Bosa went off last week.
Bosa looks great.
Man.
I think safe-wise, I think you start Breida. You start Coleman, how he looked and it was used.
Yeah.
Kittle, you have to start Kittle.
Without a doubt.
I'm not starting Jimmy G here. Aaron Donald scares me.
Yeah, okay. I can agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kittle can still have a good game and Jimmy G not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just scared of Jimmy G here. LA Rams side, I think you start Goff.
Okay.
I'd be skeptical of Gurley.
Yeah, Gurley's not doing as good as I thought he would this year.
Brandon Cooks, I had not heard anything, but he was hurt. I haven't heard any updates on him, so right now I'm saying no.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying no to Robert Woods.
What about Cooper Kupp?
I am saying yes all day to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, that guy's so talented.
Yep.
So
Gerald Everett, you starting him against the 49ers defense? Against those linebackers? I'm saying no.
Yeah.
But if you're desperate at tight end this week, I say yes, but it's not someone I'd personally start.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you need to stream a tight end, Chris Herndon's probably going to be on your waiver wire, and Gerald Everett would be. I'd take Chris Herndon over Gerald Everett any day, but I mean, I don't know. Everett's going up against he's going up against a great linebacking core. D Ford, Quan Alexander. It's going to be hard to beat that.
Yeah, San Fran's weak spot looks like wide receiver a little bit, but not horrible. They're still like in the top for wide receiver as defense, but they are really good against the running backs here. That's why I said no Gurley.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good actually against tight ends as well. So, and I just looked at my chart right now. I didn't even look at it till now. So we will move on to the next game. This is a bird fest here. So we have the 1-4 Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals, who are 1-3-1.
Okay.
Arizona is at home. From the Atlanta side, you start Julio.
Yep.
You start Ridley.
Yep. Sanu. Do you take Sanu into account?
I think you take Sanu into account because he's had a safe floor. Matt Ryan all day long, and he's thrown for 300 yards every game, like I told your dad. 300 yards every single game. Even in garbage time, he's been thrown for 300. So you start Ridley, you start Ryan, you start Julio, you start Sanu, and you definitely definitely start Austin Hooper this week.
Uh-huh.
Because Arizona is awful.
The worst.
The worst against tight ends. So start Austin Hooper this week with confidence.
Yeah.
On the Arizona side, Kyler Murray?
I think so.
I think so too.
He's got the Cam-like legs.
Yep. The Konami code, as your dad would say.
Yep.
Running back wise, you start DJ. You start DJ David Johnson if he's playing. If not, Chase Edmonds would be the starter. You still start him with confidence. Mm-hmm. Larry Fitz, I think, has a safe floor.
Fitzy, yeah.
Who you starting after that? That's what scares me.
I mean, if Kirk comes back, maybe.
That's the part that scares me here is. They've changed. They're seeing targets, but their production, other than Fitzgerald, no one's like Kirk had that one big blow up game, but no one's like, oh, they're seeing 8 targets, but then they're seeing like 4 catches for 40 yards. That's not wowing me. So, if you really want to take a flyer, I think Keyshawn Johnson or Christian Kirk, but I ain't buying Christian Kirk just yet until I know he's been cleared and ready to play. So. My starts here, like I said, Edmonds if Johnson ain't playing, Johnson if he is playing, and Kyler Murray and Fitzgerald. That's it from that side.
All right.
Next game, the Dallas Cowboys, who are 3-2, at the New York Jets, who are 0-4. I think the Cowboys are going to make a statement here. I know the Jets are pretty decent against the run. I think you start Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I think you start Ezekiel Elliott, even against this defense. You start Amari Cooper. You start Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup, like I said, I've been saying it every week, except for the weeks he got hurt. Michael Gallup is a breakout player this year, and he's already showed that he's breaking out. Mm-hmm. On the New York Jets side, do you start Sam Darnold?
Not against that defense. Not against that linebacker.
I think this defense will be fired up. I say no on Darnold as well.
Yeah, no.
I say yes to Le'Veon Bell based on his floor.
Okay.
He's still seeing volume on targets. I think you could start him. Mm-hmm. I'm not sold on Robbie Anderson just yet against the Cowboys.
Neither am I.
I'm not sold on Jamison Crowder.
What about Chris Herndon?
He'd be a streamer if I had no choice. Cowboys are not great against the tight ends. Not great. All right. They're not horrible, but they're not great either.
All right.
So something to keep an eye on. But that's it for the Jets.
Yeah.
So let's go into the next game we have on the dock. The Tennessee Titans, who are 2-3, are at the Denver Broncos, who are 1-4. Wow.
Yeah. Denver looked really good against the Chargers.
I know, but divisional rivalry. People seem to not take that into account.
Yes, I get that.
Tennessee's D, their record doesn't reflect it, but it does though too.
Yeah.
Tennessee's defense is pretty decent.
It's pretty good.
I think for the Titans, you don't start Mariota.
No.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, you just start Derrick Henry.
You don't start Corey Davis. He had only one good game.
No. AJ Brown. AJ Brown.
Nope, he's been spotty as well.
All right.
I'm looking at my sheet here. I'm curious to see. You don't even start Delaney Walker.
Really? All right.
His volume's been down the last couple weeks. They've contained him, so
that's true.
I think the only one you could take a chance with is Derrick Henry here. Denver's side of the ball. Flacco, you think?
No, I'm not sold on Flacco. Flacco, he's had some good games. I'll give him that. But
I say no to Flacco.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no on Emmanuel Sanders because he has not looked good.
Okay.
Cortland Sutton has had a safe.
Yeah, Sutton's looks really good.
Sutton has looked consistent every week.
Mm-hmm.
He looks pretty good. Noah Fant, no.
All right.
And do you start Lindsey or Freeman? I'm leaning more towards Lindsey. I'm not sold on Freeman.
I agree with you. Lindsey, I think Denver kind of realized that Lindsey was I don't want to say the more talented back, but the back that they should use, I think, when they started using him
I would
against
just
the Chargers.
limit expectations here.
Yeah.
Tennessee is good against running backs.
It is.
So
It is.
I would not. If you have other options, I say use them. But if not, then roll with Freeman or Lindsey. But I would lean more towards Lindsey.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
this game does not look appetizing. It looks like it's going to be a defensive battle. But watch it be 42-30. Who knows?
Yeah.
I always seem to get those games wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers 1-4 at the LA Chargers, who are 2-3.
Okay.
So Pittsburgh side, you start Devlin Hodges against the Chargers. I'm saying no.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
You got to start Juju.
Yep, I guess.
Safe floor.
Definitely.
I don't know if it'll be a touchdown week, but I think you got to start him. His targets are still consistent. You start James Conner?
Yeah, I think you do.
Okay. Especially with Jalen Samuels out, he'll actually see a lot more volume. Samuel's out for a month, so Snell, I believe, is the backup now.
All right.
But I still think Connor will get volume here.
Benny Smith.
You start an old McDonald, Vance McDonald?
I think you do.
Okay.
I think you do.
Chargers are okay again. They're not great against tight ends. They're not awful either. They're okay. Anybody else on Pittsburgh?
Deontay Johnson.
I'm thinking the same thing too. James Washington looks like he's going to be limited. The only thing that scares me though is the Chargers secondary. Which one are we getting? Are we getting the elites like Casey Hayward and then Desmond King playing? Because they are good.
They are good.
But they play. Look at last week; they got burned. So
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson could be a sneaky start this week, and he actually has good chemistry with Hodges. So it could be a sneaky play.
He could.
The LA side, you start Melvin Gordon.
I start Melvin Gordon against the Steelers defense. I know Steelers defense, they got a lot of weapons, but they haven't shown
Steelers
haven't
defense
shown
the last 2 weeks has looked better than it did.
It has. But you look at the offenses they played against. 2 weeks ago it was Cincinnati, who is, let's face it, Cincinnati is probably just all around a terrible team. All around. And then week after that, they played Baltimore, where I think Lamar Jackson is starting to slowly form back into his old Lamar Jackson, kind of the running back more than the quarterback. I don't want to say that just yet, but I think that's the direction it's starting to kind of go towards. So I think the Steelers are going to get a bit of a difficult team offensively. Melvin Gordon's good. Eckler is good. I love Keenan Allen. I mean, Phillip Rivers.
You think it's Mike Williams' week finally? He has a chance.
He has a chance. He has a chance.
I think if Hunter Henry came back this week, it'd open up a lot more. I think they're going to get Gordon rolling, though. I think they're going to try to run. And I'm not saying they're going to completely run. But if Henry came back, it'd definitely open up a lot more things. But I'm leaning towards the Chargers in this game.
I agree.
Especially a bounce back after Denver last week. They got a little bit embarrassed, I would say.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to try to establish the run, get Gordon more reps. But they'd be stupid not to use Eckler. He deserves the right to be involved.
Oh, yeah. He's such a good back. Passing, I mean,
he's done it all.
He's done it all.
That actually needs to be a committee there, I believe. But we're not that organization, so that's up to them.
Yeah.
I'm not a Gordon owner or an Eckler owner, so either way is fine with me. But I'm like Andrew said, start those guys with confidence. And then we are going into our last game.
Monday night.
The Detroit Lions, who are 2-1-1, at the Green Bay Packers are 4-1. I think Green Bay is good against the pass, but I think this is going to be a slobber knocker. These two teams, the Lions, the Packers, there's a divisional rivalry, like I said earlier. Actually, whoever loses is going to basically be number one in the division.
Yep.
Packers have looked good, even with Aaron Rodgers not being Aaron Rodgers. They're winning, though.
Yeah.
So we're going to start on Green Bay's side. Green Bay, who are you starting?
I think you start, if Devontae is out, you start MVS. I think you start Aaron Jones, especially after that huge game against Dallas. I mean, 4 touchdowns. I mean,
Aaron Jones is definitely a good play. Who am I thinking of? Darius Slay. I haven't heard anything about him playing, but I'm guessing after a bye week, he should be ready to go.
Yeah.
Slay should cover Adams.
Yeah.
Should.
He should.
I'm not saying don't start Adams. You got to start Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is a tough matchup if Slayer lines up on him, but you still got to start him. Are you starting Jimmy Graham? I'm saying no. I'm saying no.
I think you do.
You think so? Okay. I'm saying no. You say yes. Okay, that works. Aaron Jones, I'm not even saying because of matchup. Aaron Jones has a good matchup here, but you start Aaron Jones based on volume. Trey Mason is actually the handcuff to own and not Dexter Williams.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
So just in case anybody wants to pick him up, he was what they call change of pace back.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm starting MVS.
Really?
Yeah, and the only reason I say that is 1 week it's Allison, next week's MVS. So if we're following suit here, Allison had a decent game last week, but not even great. He actually missed a couple catches. Mm-hmm. That means it should be MVS's turn this week. So we started MVS.
Yeah.
It's been going opposite of every week. So MVS did not do anything last week. So this should be the week. Allison should be no.
Yeah.
We'll play it on that because that's how it's been, guys. It's going back and forth.
Been a bit of a pattern.
Do you start Aaron Rodgers, or if you have a different option, would you start someone else, or would you start Rodgers? I'm scared of Rodgers because it's not Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked Aaron Rodgers. LaFleur has run the ball so much that Rodgers is not throwing like he used to, other than that one game.
Yeah, that's what I expected when I saw LaFleur was the head coach, because it was like, I don't know, you looked at Mike McCarthy, he let Aaron Rodgers throw the ball all the time, and now he's getting a new coach where
they're running.
They are 100%
They're
running
definitely
the ball.
running, and they're definitely involving the running back a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think you only start Aaron Rodgers based on the fact that it's Aaron Rodgers. You never know how this game could change. Mm-hmm. So you still start him. If you have a better option, I would say yes, but Aaron Rodgers is not Aaron Rodgers right now. And it's not because of him, it's because of the coaching. But they're winning, so I don't see him complaining either.
Yeah.
They're 4-1. On the Detroit side, you start carry on all day long.
Yeah.
Green Bay, and I don't know how Dallas messed this up. They shouldn't have been in the run. Green Bay is awful against the run.
Yeah.
You start carry on. You start carry on. You start carry on.
Carry on.
I like Matt Stafford here. I know Green Bay's defense is good, but like I said, this is a divisional rivalry. That's why I'm kind of saying even Rodgers here.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a shootout. Like I said, a slobber knocker. I see Stafford hucking the ball up quite a bit.
Yeah.
You start Kenny Golladay.
Mm-hmm.
You start Marvin Jones. Hawkinson, if he doesn't play, just makes Marvin Jones and Golladay that much better for plays. Amendola could be sneaky, but I'm leaning towards no. Good 1 week, bad one next week. No consistency. Stick to Stafford, Golladay, Marvin Jones Jr., and Kerryon Johnson at this point.
Yeah. Stafford keeps playing the way he's doing.
He's having a great season. He's having a career season.
Great season.
So that's all we have this week. I feel like we covered these games a lot quicker. You should do it more often. Yeah. It's like record time. So I just want to thank all the listeners out there. So this is our week 6 breakdown of games, and it's also our start and sits. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, please feel free to email us or shoot us a question on Facebook, Instagram, leave a comment on YouTube. We'd like to hear them. So, guys, we will see you soon, and good luck this weekend. You got anything, Andrew? See you soon?
See you soon.
See you guys soon.
Armchair Fantasy Football Podcast. Thanks for supporting the show. Until next time.